رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي. Another look at Qur'an's picture perfect use of language. Here we have Surah Al-A'raf. This is the incident of, by the way, God sending Moses to Pharaoh, and this is chapter number 7 verse 103. Here the Qur'an says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, translation, after them we sent Moses with our signs to Pharaoh, right? So our signs, the God signs, are mentioned before Pharaoh. However, the same words are mentioned in Surah Yunus chapter 10 verse 75. But here God says, then after them we send Moses and Aaron to Pharaoh with our signs. Here our signs are mentioned after Pharaoh, whereas in Surah Araf our signs were mentioned before Pharaoh. And to simply appreciate the beauty of the perfect usage of this language, I'll show you the context where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions our signs before, giving it precedence, giving it more importance. Our signs, we send Moses with our signs, right? Because in normal language it wouldn't matter if I said I ate food at the restaurant yesterday, or if I say I ate food yesterday at the restaurant, doesn't really matter, right? But in the Quran every word matters. Where God says we send Moses with our signs first, he's giving importance to our signs. It's brought before Pharaoh. Why? I'll show you. This is Surah Araf 103. I'll show you the verses after this, 106 afterwards. So when Pharaoh asked for signs, he said, if you have come with a sign, then bring it if you're true. So now the signs are actually mentioned, explicitly mentioned. So here he says, Moses threw down his staff and behold, it became a real snake. It's explicitly mentioning the sign. The next verse, then he drew out his hand out of the collar, it was white, shining white for all to see, explicitly mentioning the sign. And likewise, if I go later on, when there's a competition between Moses, Prophet Moses, peace be upon him, and the magicians, what do they say? The magicians came, and what did they say? They asked, O Moses, verse 115 of Surah Araf, O Moses, will you cast or shall we be the first to cast? Moses said, you first. So when they did, they deceived the eyes of the people, stunned them, and made a great display of magic. Later on, what happened? Then we inspired Moses, throw down your staff, and behold, it devoured the objects of their illusion. So it's mentioning the signs. However, Surah Yunus, where our signs is mentioned after Pharaoh, it's not being given that much importance. See the context. This was verse 75, Surah Yunus. Let me show you from verse number 76 onwards. When the truth came to them from us. Now it's not mentioning explicitly the signs that that Prophet Moses threw down the staff, or he drew out his hand. No, it's just saying when the truth came to them from us, they said this is certainly pure magic. It's not explicitly spelling out what the signs are. And then even when there is a competition between Moses and the magicians, what do they say? Pharaoh demanded, bring me every skilled magician. When the magicians came, Moses said to them, cast whatever you wish to cast. When they did, Moses said, what you have produced is mere magic. Allah will surely make it useless. That's it. And then Allah establishes the truth. So there is no mention of the staff and the snake and all those things. No explicit mention. Just the story goes on saying, when the truth came to them from us, they said this is pure magic. Not mentioning what those signs are. Subhanallah. So when Allah does not explicitly mention them, he says we send Moses to Pharaoh with our signs. But when he explicitly mentions them, he says we send Moses with our signs, which in bracket we are about to explicitly mention, to Pharaoh. Subhanallah. The thing to think about is deeply about this text is you have to think, why are these word orders changed? A book that never was changed in the last 14 centuries, 1400 years. And yet, it shows the perfect placement of words. How could it be the word of a man? How could it? Why not even a single mistake? Why not? Why such perfect language? This is what forces us to think that this is divine. This is from God. May God give us this conviction that this word is from God. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.